So yesterday while filming this video, we had a little behind the scenes drama. One of the dogs slipped out of their harness and we had a jailbreak. It's a pretty unusual thing to happen and the harness wasn't adjusted correctly. It's all my fault. But as you see here, she slipped right out as I was walking up to the camera. Here's another angle from our security cameras on the house where you can see she pulled out, and because I had two dogs on the leash, I didn't even realize it at first. She took off down the road, and typically when the dogs get loose, Huskies will run for days and days, and they'll get lost, and they're very difficult to get back. But here you can see she actually paused when I called her name, and that surprised me because usually they just bolt and they'll just run and run and run. So I showed her her harness because usually that means, hey, we're going to go for a walk. And to my surprise, she started to come back, cautiously though. So I continued to hold the harness up and try to convince her to come, and decided to squat down so it'd be less intimidating. And that seemed to work. She came all the way up, but when she got really close to me and saw that I was reaching for her, she took off again. But luckily, she ran up to the front door. She wanted to go inside the house. So we were able to walk right up and get the harness on her, and this time cinch it down and secure it to her size correctly. But yeah, that was a pretty alarming situation. Typically, this would mean we're about to spend, the next several hours or the next several days trying to locate our lost dog. We're in the middle of the wilderness out here, and we've had the dogs get loose before and run over 60 miles through the woods before they pop out in a city that's, many, many miles away from here 3 days later. So we do have GPS trackers on the dog. We sell those trackers on our pet store website. I really believe in those things. If you want to learn anything more about those, go to bestgoodstuff.store, and you'll see under our fencing section, we've got a nice lineup and supply of fence collars and GPS trackers and things like that to keep track of your dogs, especially if you have Huskies. People who don't have Huskies don't really understand this because other dogs will sort of stay near you. They might run around a little bit, but they typically come back. Huskies just, man, they love to run.